It's a beautiful day for a charity fun run here on the track and field at North St. Paul High School. Hello, I'm Judy Voss. Thanks for joining me for this October edition of Local Image. Now you may be wondering why I'm dressed the way I am. Well, it's all for a good cause, as I will explain a little later in the show. But for now, while I warm up and stretch out, you can take a look at this Local Image segment featuring some big wheels that left a big impression on visitors to an event in Oakdale.
Oakdale City puts it on, and they invite city workers and local companies that have, I guess, large trucks that seem interesting. But our involvement has always been bringing a ladder truck and an ambulance and letting the people climb in and ask any questions they want, both trucks, the ambulance and the ladder. A lot of people see it, and a lot of people come by and they say, oh, I live right by the fire station. I see you guys leave all the time and stuff like that. So this is the chance for them to actually, come in. They can climb inside and sit down in the seats and touch the equipment and stuff like that. Oh, we'll always do it next year. It's almost automatic. The guys even ask, hey, when's the touch a truck gonna be, and stuff like that. I have people at work asking when the touch a truck is gonna be and stuff like that. So it's always a huge popular event.
Well, the Tutu Mile is about to start, and I'm ready to run or walk it to get across the finish line. My tutu partner here is my daughter Hannah, and together we created our bubble wrap tutus, thus the name Double Bubble Tutu Trouble. So while we get ready to run, you can enjoy catching up with filmmaker and special effects creator Jon Hyres. You may remember Jon from our interview a few years ago when he shared his creepy special effects creations with us, or perhaps you dared to ring his doorbell on Halloween. Well, he's ready for trick-or-treaters this year, and he also has a movie he'd like you to check out featuring more of his spooky effects. So take a look. Let's do this, Hannah. Stretch. Ah!
Initially, my big focus was to try to use the projected effects, such as the spiders, with the actors, which we did do. But you can only do so much with live projection. So we decided to do blue screen, and we moved into blue screen big time.
A labyrinth of secrets lay hidden, forgotten for 100 years.
So in the film, there are enormous dungeon and magic rooms, chambers that were all done in blue screen, created in Photoshop and in Final Cut. So we combined a lot of elements and we created these what look like monstrous sets, but they're all blue screen. The new technology in post-production editing effects, 3D motion, this is without computer animation, just being able to use live elements. The ability to be able, people use the expression Photoshop it. You can Photoshop it times a factor of 100. I mean, you can go in, you can grab elements and you can combine them together. I mean, you could do 100 or 1,000 layers of different elements to create a scene. And your time is really the limit, because you can just keep going, and the technology allows you to very quickly render a professional looking image by combining all these elements. And so the technology's made it easy for somebody to work from a home studio and crank out Hollywood looking visual effects. We have a house that's often labeled one of the best decorated houses in Minnesota. I would disagree for one reason. We don't put up a lot of the typical stuff that you can buy at a Halloween store. The fences, the ghouls, all those decorations that have been sold for 30 years, we don't put any of those up. What we do exclusively is video projection. So all of our windows, the floor in some cases, sometimes the ground outside, and some cases the roof, contains a projected image. So when you come down the street, you look over and you see this massive amount of glow and movement of different images, different moving scenes. The typical client we would get would be a person who has bought a lot of video projectors. There are customers we know who have 10. And they decorate their home that way, and they will often call and make a request of something. The craziest request was when somebody wanted us to do some kind of a scene with Harrison Ford. And that was probably the most insane because it was not affordable.
You have way too much fun. Would you say?
Yeah, I do. My wife who teaches calculus often says that I have way too much fun and I should get another day job that's not so fun.
There's a house in St. Paul that some say is a portal to the souls of the dead and the spirits of the damned. As ghost hunter Harry Murdoch is about to find out.
Harry, I need you to help me find a magical object of great power.
With the film Harry Murdoch, I am extremely pleased to create a feature-length film which has this high level of scope of sets and special effects and a lot of actors. So it was, personally a big achievement to be able to stick with it and get it done. And so it has been an opportunity for the young people and new actors to get some experience in something that's rather meaningful, because it is a finished film. It is meant to look like a polished Hollywood film. So that's one of the benefits to the community, is people can get involved in something like this and have a really good time. And it's not a short kind of thing that you would do in a class. I mean, it's a real film. We had over 30 shooting days, probably 50 half shooting days is what it probably was. And if you're looking for a good time, you want to see an independent film where a lot of work has gone into it, you want to see what is possible, what's being done in town, in Minnesota, come and check out Harry Murdoch and the Curse of the Grim Reaper.
Back here at North High School's track and field, final preparations are underway for the start of a fun run fundraiser called the Tutu 2 Mile. So there's your first clue as to why I'm dressed this way. North High School's CARE initiative, which stands for Creating Awareness, Respect, and Equality, is hosting the event for a nonprofit called Child. And here to explain more of what this event is all about is one of the organizers, Melanie Meyer. Hi, Melanie.
Hi.
Nice looking tutu.
Thank you. I love yours. It's very
goofy. This
Yeah.
is so much fun. I
Yeah.
mean, colorful and all. Tell everybody what Child is all about.
Sure. Child is a nonprofit based here in North St. Paul, and it helps victims of childhood sexual abuse. Okay. We've been around since 2000, and all the services we provide to our clients, like group therapy and court liaisons, are provided free of charge to them. So this is a fundraiser that we do during the year to help make those services possible.
Okay, very good. And it's really neat that it's combined with this initiative here at North High School. That's been the connection all along too, or is this a first time connection?
You know, it's a pretty new connection.
Okay.
Our CARE students decided a few years ago that they wanted to become more involved in the community and kind of give back to the people that are around our school.
Right.
And so from that, the Tutu 2 Mile was created as a way to sort of help them out and get our students involved too.
Well, and you're a teacher here.
I am.
What grade are you teaching?
Well, I teach all of the grades most of
Okay.
the time. This year I have mostly 9th grade students in my algebra classes.
Okay.
So.
What is it about this event that you look forward to the most?
The starting line, when everybody's lined up at the start with their tutus on, and it's just a colorful, happy event, and it's family friendly and it's really positive.
Yeah. Okay.
way, yeah.
And is this something that's happening around the country too, or is it just unique to this area, do you think?
As far as I know, we're the only tutu run out there. So I've seen people in tutus at other 5Ks and fun runs, but we're the only one that I know of that tutu is the theme.
Okay,
So, yeah.
and people of all ages, I imagine, will be here today?
Absolutely. I would imagine last year we had 2 to 60, so everybody in between. So it's really for everyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
And again, about Child Inc., you mentioned some of the things that you guys do. Take us through kind of a typical situation of how you guys help families.
Well, it really is sort of a client by client basis based on what the child or the adult needs, and it's really sort of a long-lasting impact that abuse can have on a person. So they kind of meet with them and see what they need, and it could be art therapy or a group session. We also do community outreach and education as well, getting information out to people about issues of abuse and what can be done to kind of
And
solve
you've been
it.
doing this since 2000.
The organization has been around since 2000. This is our second year of the Tutu Two Mile, though.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And as the organization really found that it's making a difference, how do you tell? And is sexual abuse ever present these days, or has there been is it more out there as far as people being willing to talk about it?
I think people are becoming more willing to talk about it, and it's events like this, I think, that kind of make that a little more comfortable. As we go out in the community seeking donations and talking about our organization, it's surprising to me how willing people are to kind of open up and share a little bit about their stories. It makes this a lot more meaningful. So.
Right, absolutely. And so if somebody watching right now maybe has experienced that in their lifetime and just didn't really know where to go, or what would you say to them?
Well, if they want to work with our group, they can go to our website. It's mnchild.org. And there they can find access to resources and also a way to contact us to sort of work with our group. That would be, I think, probably the best first step. So.
And back at today's event, there's contests and tell us a little bit more about the fun stuff going on also.
We have prizes in 5 categories. Best female and male tutu, best pair of tutus, best youth tutu, and my favorite, biggest tutu. So we watch what happens around the track, and then at the Legion afterwards, where people get their t-shirts and their incentives, we have tutu trophies and some prizes for the people who win the best.
Well, fabulous.
Yeah.
I mean, as you can see, I kind of went all out with my bubble wrap.
You got very creative.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'm in it to win it.
That's great.
I'm in it to do some good stuff for the charity, and thanks for all your work
Thank
on
you.
behalf of that organization and to North High and the students here. So
Thanks.
let's get our Tutu 2 Mile going on.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, now just a short time now before we hit the track, tutu and all, and just enough time to watch this next local image segment featuring a band called the WaxTones. The group recently had a sold-out show inside Maplewood Community Theatre last month, and that's where I met them for this local image interview. So I have with me here 2 of the WaxTone members. We have Murray and Terri here, and thanks for joining us in your kind of venue.
Thank you, Judy.
Did you have a good time when you performed here last month?
We had a great time, and we had such a great response. I thought it was just a blast. Did you too?
It was so much fun, like beyond anything that I ever imagined. It was a great time.
Well, the WaxTones go back to 2009, and part of the early origins of the group involved a chance meeting on Craigslist, which is how I met Terri.
Between the 2 of us, I was actually looking for somebody to do more like acoustic coffee house type of harmonizing and guitar and that sort of thing, and Murray and I got together, but it evolved into a lot more than that.
Now, 2 of how many members? Tell us about the whole
Well,
group.
we're 2 of 6 people on stage, but we have our sound man too. So there are really 7 people involved in the group. A group that has a PhD, a former nonprofit executive director, a drummer who's a pilot for Sun Country Airlines, And I'm not sure what a couple of our other people do.
Dave is a chemist. Dave's a chemical engineer. Brian, I believe, is an insurance underwriter or something. I
Yeah.
really don't know. And John's
That's
an IT professional.
So we have the ability to do these kinds of things, and this was our first time out, and it was just fabulous.
And what do you think? Anything to add to that?
It was so much fun for me, so uplifting and so motivational, I guess, to look out into the audience and see everybody singing along. Everybody knew all the words to these songs, young and old, and clapping along, and they were obviously having such a good time, and for me, that's what it's all about.
You know, it's a real nice opportunity when we can have a venue like this at our disposal to do a show that's a little bit different than what we often do. We presented this more or less in the format of an AM radio show from the 1960s. So I played the role of DJ, if you will, and we set up each subgenre, like surf rock, for instance, with about 60 seconds of background on the 3 songs they were about to hear. It includes a little trivia, so it makes it fun.
The Beatles appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show, and it changed music forever. The first Beatles record to have only one vocalist on it was Can't Buy Me Love.
The passion is for the older music. Music of the, what, 50s, 60s, 70s?
It's music of the 60s.
60s.
And when I'm out marketing the band, I like to remind people that I'm talking to that this is the music that literally everyone has grown up with. And you can sit down in front of your television tonight, and if you watch 4 hours of TV and you're paying attention, you'll come up with at least 4 commercials where there will be songs from that era used as the background.
What was it about this recent concert, besides the great attendance, that really made it special for you guys that night, would you say?
Well, for me, it's a different way of performing. We're not so much in our dance band mode, which is what we do most of the time, and there's a nice audience for that. But in this case, people in a sense have voted by buying a ticket to come to see us, and they're there, you know, expressly for that purpose.
What is it that you would want the younger generation, if you could tell them anything about that genre, you know, that era of music, what would you want them to know?
I think I'd want them to know what I think I've learned over a lifetime of enjoying music, that there are periods of music that existed before I was born that I've come to really appreciate more as time has gone on. And so I would hope they would understand that. And I have a particular fondness for the 60s. And those who look at popular music generally agree that it was probably, to date, the most fertile period in popular music ever.
Anything you'd like to add on that?
There's just such a tremendous variety of music from that era. Everything from, you know, the garage rock to the British invasion to the really beautiful harmonies of the Everly Brothers and so on. It's, people might think oldies music and just lump it into one category, but there's a tremendous amount of variety.
Where can people find out more about your group, the WaxTones, and what you might be doing, you know, the rest of this year and into next year?
Well, you can always find us at waxtones.com. And Terry, where else?
We're on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
Facebook.com/WaxTones.
Okay, very good.
And in this neighborhood, Judy, we'll be back in October.
Nice.
And I believe it is the 18th and 19th at the North St. Paul American Legion.
Perfect. Write that on your calendars for sure. Well, best wishes to you guys. You obviously are very passionate about your music and what your band does, and a great turnout, more to come. So keep on rocking.
Great.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you. Stuff. I shouldn't have had that wine last night. I got your back. If we got 8 laps to go, I'll be there for you.
We're gonna need a couple water breaks.
give
Yeah,
us
might
some
need a
water.
stretcher.
Stretcher on the ready at the end. Good idea.
Go!
Tutu! Tutu! Woo! 4 to go. We did it! We did it! We completed the Tutu
2 mile.
2 mile. Thanks to
Deserves
my
a bubble pop.
Woo! Woo! Our own celebration. Great event for a great cause. Our thanks to all the folks here for putting it on. Thanks to my running partner, Hannah, keeping me going. I'm Judy Skyboss. Thanks for watching. As always, I do thank you for watching Local Image. Woo!